Welcome back everyone, this is Value Cars Australia and I'm Dimitri, and I'm sitting in and I have just test driven the brand new MG4 EV electric vehicle. Yes, time for us to discuss this car that everyone is talking about as one of the, if not the, most affordable EVs on Australian roads right now, if EVs are your thing. Don't worry, I am going to focus on the car today, and we are not going to rant about the infrastructure of Australia, specifically how it's supporting EVs, because that's a topic that a lot of channels are discussing, and that is a topic of its own. It could take us down the rabbit hole we don't want to go down. So let's go past that. Let's assume you want an EV anyway, right? And let's assume you know how much this costs, because the car is not cheap. It's priced competitively at the bottom of the range of EV cars that you can get in Australia, but it is one of those budget-friendly EVs that MG is bringing into the country, just like they do with a lot of other vehicles. So what do I think as Dimitri? Obviously, I'm not a professional reviewer who always maintains a completely neutral position. I honestly look for value for money. That's why you're hopefully subscribed to my channel. So I'm going to highlight value where I see it. But is this specifically a car for me? I don't know. Let's talk about it, okay? So what am I seeing as I'm getting into this car? Well, from the outside, first of all, if we look from the outside before we get into the car, from the outside, the design is so-so. I'm not a fan. Personally, I'm not a fan. I kind of don't like this too slopey, almost bird beak kind of nose of this car. That's just a subjective opinion. Design is always subjective. You might say, Dimitri, and we don't like your boxy tank, GWM tank or Jeep Wrangler or something like that. Fair enough, my friend. But this is where it's always subjective from the outside. I find the front of it probably very aerodynamic and contributing to better acceleration on the highway, etc., etc. But I find it too slopey, too bird beak-like, and I just simply don't like this design. Yeah. Do I hate it? No, I don't think it's offensive. I don't think it's something that would be like, you know, in somewhere in the realm of those EVs that do look like just a weird construction from the future that never happened, luckily for us. But design is, let's call it so-so. What do I see on the inside? On the inside, first of all, I'll point out that this is the bottom of the range MG4 EV Excite model. So everything mostly is plastic. And as opposed to, let's say, bottom of the range MG5 vibe that I reviewed last week, that had at least leatherette seats. It at least had some pseudo luxury feel. This has a feeling of kind of asceticism. It has a feeling of minimalism, but futuristic minimalism. And I say it with respect and with the best meaning kind of attached to this. It doesn't have pseudo luxury feel of, let's say, GWM Ora. Watch my test drive and my video review of that vehicle for comparison. It doesn't have that feel, because Ora gives you slightly that discounted Porsche kind of feeling of like I'm something fancy. This does not try to be fancy. This tries to be functional, and it tries to be what it is, yeah, which I respect in its own way. I see plastic all over the place here. It's not creaky plastic. The car drives really nicely, but we're going to talk about that separately just in a minute. I like the design of the panels. I like this elevated gear shifter. I like the elevated place where to put my phone. I like that. I like minimalistic feel. I like a lack of abundance of these buttons. They're only functional, really important buttons that are kind of all in your reach, yeah. I love, absolutely love for some reason, that they lowered the main panel of the storage for the keys, for your wallet, for your phone, for your cups, to the bottom. I love that. Why not more cars do that? And I suspect I know the answer. It's simply because in the normal gear shifter cars, there are a lot more mechanicals and a lot more engineering required than purely in an EV, where everything that's inside of these plastic housings are wires, really. So it doesn't need any mechanical elements. That's why they had all this massive space to design differently, which is awesome. But I like how you just extend the hand down and reach whatever is there at the bottom right now in that compartment. I absolutely love it. Ergonomics, as you know, is my thing. I really like this. I like the positioning of both the main instruments, let's call it, panel, and there are very few instruments there, and the infotainment. It's nice at the close to the eye level range. Again, very unique, very kind of to be explored. I'm not going to pretend to know it intimately. Software here and infotainment for this EV seems very responsive. The screen seems responsive. It seems to be designed nicely. Like, I feel nice about it. I don't feel like it's cheap or old age. Like, it feels proper. It feels proper, right? One limitation that all of these infotainment systems have in common in MG and other vehicles is the lack of wireless connectivity with Android Auto or Apple Carplay. But this is exactly, my friends, where the sponsors of this video come in. Please check the discount offers in the description below. And what I surprisingly love, I love the tiny main instruments panel screen, because there is not that much to show. So why have a big one, right? I love that there is a speedometer right front and center of it, big number. I can clearly see. What else do I need to see? I need to see the traffic monitoring system, which again is here on the left. We can see the car. Well, at the moment when I'm recording the overlay, I'm obviously not driving. But as you drive, you see the dynamically cars appearing on that tracker. And I remember seeing the same in GWM Ora, realized slightly differently, but I like that bit. And it shows you the condition of the wheels. How fast you're going, how long you can go for, 97% battery charge, 435 kilometers, which is a very respectable range, by the way, for bottom of the range Excite model. That is great. That's fantastic. The time, the detected speedometer in front, and the current mode, normal driving mode. All you need. All you need. Love that. Love that. We don't need too much real estate for all these massive instruments panels. I love this, what MG did here. The steering wheel. Even in the bottom of the range model, funnily enough, they have a plastic one in MG5, but this bottom of the range MG4 has a leatherette wrapping, which makes it feel even better. Like I said in my review of MG5, even the plastic one still feels nice in the hand because it's thickish and it's sportish with a bit of curve to it, right? This one is also curved and kind of squared off a little bit, kind of to make us feel that it's a futuristic EV. I love it. I love it. I do love it. And yeah, and the main thing that I wanted to not forget and I wanted to talk to you about before I wrap up, because there is only a few other things that I'm going to mention to you in a second, is the drive. How the car drives. Look, it's an EV. I'm not very experienced with EVs. Maybe to you it will be like, duh, Dmitry, that's how they all drive. Mate, I drove Ora. And I drove this. I have very limited experience, but I drove a ton of petrol-based cars, obviously, from different manufacturers, including MG. I love the way this drives. Don't ask me why. I don't know. I love how it accelerates. I love how it decelerates. It clearly, my head, my vestibular system needs adjustment to it because, I won't lie to you, because I'm not experienced and I don't know exactly what my vestibular system is reacting to. But on one hand, it accelerates nicely, it slows down nicely, you feel zippy, you feel, as far as the mobility on the road is concerned, mobility is what I'm going to refer to. This feels better than, let's say, your average 1.5 turbo petrol engine vehicle, such as MG ZS, or such as even MG5. I would say this accelerates faster, decelerates faster, you feel zippier, and it gives you a bit of that nice feel, yeah? However, with that being said, I don't know what exactly is my head responding to, but it obviously detects slightly different motion. How I accelerate in space, how I decelerate in space must be, I'm speculating. But it makes me feel tiny bit dizzy. Nothing's wrong with me. I'm not tired, I'm not sick, I don't have a condition. In case you wanted to ask. But maybe talk to me in the comments down below. Is that normal? Is that something that happened to you when you just started learning or maybe got your first EV? I would love, honestly, genuinely, to hear from you now in the comments below. Let's talk. It's a tiny bit uncomfortable. And I absolutely 100% am sure that it is an adjustment phase to an EV versus an internal combustion engine car. But there must be some subtle difference to how your body moves through space, and that's what your head detects and responds to. Because it does feel a little dizzying how it accelerates and decelerates. That's all I have to say, not to turn this into another rant. Now, to wrap up on the interior, I love that they made the whole interior color coordinated with the exterior. I love that it's dark. I love that all the plastic elements, such as the sunglasses holder, such as the roof, all of it is black, not white. So that kind of gives you a cohesive design feel of this car. I love that. The seats here are cloth in this Excite model, bottom of the range. But before I say to you, oh, it's not leatherette, watch my videos where I reviewed the bottom of the range Honda HR-V very recently, not long ago. And I criticized how plastic and how clothy and everything it feels on the inside. Like, watch that for the context, right? And they still want $37,000 for that petrol non-turbo car. Here you have this awesome EV. I overall like it. Yeah, that's by the way, that's my verdict. Overall, I like this. And it has cloth seats, and I'm touching them right now. But I can tell you right now, as I sit here looking at you in the virtual reality in your eyes, I can tell you these cloth seats feel so much better than the cloth seats of, for example, Honda HR-V. Yes, it's cloth, but it's sturdy, nicely made cloth. I can tell that maybe it's not going to be great when you sweat into it too much, if you sweat into it, compared to leatherette, but that's separate, that's beside the point. But it is good quality cloth. I think it's good quality. The stitching is solid. I actually am okay with it. I'm okay with it. And that's about it, my friends. I could talk to you about space at the back, and the only thing that's worthy of mentioning is that compared to, let's say, MG5, which is a sedan with a slopey back, I even can see that there is more headroom there for the passengers to sit at the back and not feel like there is a slope coming down right behind their back. So it's okay. It looks okay. The boot doesn't look massive, and I won't pretend. I haven't had a proper look at it today because my time with this car is limited. I don't want to overextend the grace of my friends at Ride MG who gave me this car today for a drive. I don't want to take it for too long today. So we're going to revisit this, and talk to me in the comments down below. I'm not a mind reader, as I keep telling you. If you're interested more in these EVs, specifically MG4, talk to me and I'll spend more time on this. We will drive along and talk about it more. But these are my initial impressions from this car. Do I like it? Yes, I do like it. Do I think it's fit for purpose and it gives you a big range, nice feel enough? Well, subject to your adjustment to how it drives and not feeling uncomfortable, not feeling dizzy, like I already spoke to you about that. Yeah, I think it is value for money. I think it is value for money. Would I buy one? Is it value for money for me, Dmitry, specifically? Maybe not, simply because these cars are not my thing. They're just not my thing. But do I see practicality of it, and do I enjoy the drive overall? Yes, I do. So this is something for you. Treat it almost as an invitation and a validation from Dmitry. I honestly believe this is worth your time to come and take a look at Ride MG or somewhere else, wherever the closer you live. Come there, take the car for a test drive. Let me know in the comments down below what you thought about it. But I think it is not a waste of your time, and that is as good a rating as I can give to this car without wanting one, genuinely. Yeah. And I hope you enjoyed this, my friends. Give the video a like. As always, YouTube algorithm is a very simplistic thing. It shows the video to more people, the more people like it. So if you want more videos from me, as well as telling me, Dmitry, you're doing something right, mate, we enjoyed this, thank you, give me a like, subscribe for more if you haven't already. What exactly are you waiting for if you haven't, yet you're enjoying my videos? Like, it just perplexes me, okay? But there are lots of you, and why I say that is because I look at Google Analytics and I know how many people watch my videos, how many not, how many drop off, and at what point. And not many of you watch all videos. And if you're one of those rare people who actually watch my full duration of videos, please understand how special you are and how important you are to this community. Thank you very much, genuinely. And goodbye for now. Talk to you next week about something else. MG, Cherry, maybe? GWM, tank related soon. Goodbye for now.